What is up, everybody? So I'm going to stop saying I disappeared because I'm pretty sure you guys know that I disappeared. And truth be told, like I just hit a tipping point about a week ago. And this has literally been the worst 9 months of my life, hands down, without a doubt, from losing my job. And then I took medication to quit smoking and had a really bad reaction to that. So ultimately lost my mind and lost my true self. And then on top of that, I'm having other problems in other aspects of my life. And then to put the cherry on top, I get robbed like a week ago. Right. And I was pissed. Like I couldn't even think straight. I didn't need this right now. Especially right now. And now everything that now I'm taking like 15 steps back, right? And now I'm working 16 hours a day to get myself out of this jam and get the other people involved out of their jam, which ultimately is going to put me in a jam for many months to come. And I don't know how I'm going to get through that, but it does. I will. This isn't my first rodeo with bad times, but I can honestly say this is probably the worst 9 months of my life, hands down. And I think ultimately what has happened in that time is I lost sight of myself. So I got myself involved in situations that didn't pertain to me, and I let those situations affect me. I got myself involved in other people's lives when I should have been focusing on mine, especially when I lost my job. I lost sight of myself when I was taking the medication, like literally was not myself at all. And then, going through these other aspects of my life that I really have no control over, I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I'm beat up physically, mentally. It's hard to sleep at night, so I got to take like a spoonful of NyQuil, and I get up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I'll bust ass and work until 8 9 o'clock at night with many different projects just to get caught up. So I have no time to do these videos, and this is the thing I really want to do. These are the things that I truly enjoy the most, and I had other plans and to further grow the channel and the brand, and now that all kind of is going to sit on the wayside for a while. I had this whole thing mapped out for Pride Month and website, all this shit, and now I don't even have time to really eat, essentially. So, and again, you go through the steps in life, right? Like I had a whole life of just being depressed and my anxiety, and I tried to commit suicide a couple times, and I decided that I wanted my life to get better. Like I wanted to get in control of my mind and my body, and I didn't want to take the medications anymore because all those medications did was just numb you to everything. So I didn't want to do that anymore, and I didn't want to. I just wanted to get control of myself, and I really started. I started reading the books and watching the lectures, and getting into the spiritual side of things and energy, and trying to get my mind to think more positively and not overthink enough, or not overthink too much, and just really get control of myself. Be self-aware when things trigger me and how I react to it. I meditated. I started meditating and all the shebang. Like I've done it all essentially, and so you go through life doing everything right, and then you come across a strip of your life where I can honestly say is it's the worst few months of my life. Like everything that I truly ever cared about just blew up, all like just one by one by one by one, and it's like it's hard. It's hard to stay motivated. It's hard to keep going every day, knowing that there's, for one, people out there that are just hell bent on destroying other people's lives. The people go through their life busting their ass, working for everything they ever wanted. And it takes some low life piece of shit who doesn't want to do anything with their life, and probably is using all the shit they took for drugs and alcohol to just come in and take it, right? Just like that. And that to me is life in general, right? there are so many nice people out there. But unfortunately, it seems like there's more jagoffs out there. There's more assholes who are just mean, evil people. And I really am just losing faith in the world. Like even the people that were closest to me. So it's hard to deal with. So how do you get through that? And I just reflect back on my life, and I look at all the times where I was kind of in this crunch. I wrote a song when I was in a really bad state of mind. I remember all the feelings I had and the thoughts when I tried to kill myself. I can remember that. I could feel that like it was yesterday. And all I could do is just remind myself that I'll get through this. And that's what keeps me going every day, no matter how hard it is. Like, I'm going to get through this. And again, it comes back to focusing on yourself, because I don't think a lot of what happened would have happened had I just took more time for myself. But I completely lost sight of myself. And that's the thing with anything in life, is you got to focus on yourself. You got to focus on your goals. When it comes to relationships, you got to focus on your needs and your wants. And you will attract the things that come to you, right? In those aspects. If you focus on your work and you work hard, you will eventually start making money and going up the ladder, depending on what you want to do, right? If you're one of those people that wants to do their own thing, or you're one of those people that just wants to work their way up the corporate ladder. If you don't focus on yourself, you're never going to achieve that. You're going to be stuck in the same position for years and years and years, and being miserable and unhappy. And so you have to kind of be selfish a little bit with that. And that's the same with relationships. Like, you can sacrifice everything you want in a relationship, and the other person will do the same too. But the second you lose sight of yourself and your 100% focus goes on that, you're ultimately going to self-sabotage, because you're going to lose sight of everything else in life, and you'll be living vicariously through that person, is what I learned. That is one of my lessons I've learned in this experience, is my life started becoming my life through this other person, right? And that's the same with work. I stopped focusing so much on my work, so I was making these stupid mistakes that I would never make in a million years. But that's simply because I wasn't focused on my job and myself. I was focused in other situations that were mentally affecting me. So it was hard to focus, and I was getting myself all ramped up, and I knew I had to be there for whatever. And that's where my focus went. And that's ultimately what's I think has gotten me burned up, that put me in this position at this point. Granted, I can't control somebody breaking into my place and taking my shit. I can't control that. But what I am able to control in this situation is my mentality, my mental state of mind, the way I react to it, which last week was not good. I actually recorded a video, and I think it red barred the whole way. I was like just screaming in the video, and it is deleted, so you will never hear it. But you go, right? Like, what are you gonna do? Dwell? You can't dwell on shit. You can't sit there and feel sorry for yourself and, oh, why me, and why this happened. You got to get up, and you got to figure out solutions to the problems. And I have a lot of problems right now. And every single day I try to think of new solutions to get me forward. So it's always moving forward, but I'm doing that by just focusing on myself. Because that's the only thing I can control. I can only control how I react. I can only control what I do. I can only control my actions. And that is I think everything that I've learned up to this point, I never even saw that. Like, I was reading the books and trying to get my mind to program and think, positive and think about my goals. But I was never actually enacting on what I was reading, because now I realized that the only way things are going to get solved to where I can put this past me and be in a more comfortable situation is on how I react to it. And if this happened to me 10 years ago, I can tell you right now, I'd probably be anxious. I'd freeze up. I'd say, what's the point? Whatever, every day you wake up, it's like, whatever, why am I even doing this? Because I'm just going to get fucking burned. And you can't be like that. Every fucking day, you got to wake up with your goals in mind, and no matter how you feel that day, whether you're motivated or not, you got to go and do it. And even things when tragedies happen, like people break in and take like everything, or relationships or whatever, you can't dwell on this shit, because the more you dwell on it, the more you're just gonna freeze yourself, and you're gonna spin your wheels. You have to find ways to get over the heartbreak. You got to find ways to get yourself out of that financial situation. We are in an age where everything is at the tip of your fingers. I mean, you don't even have to you could just start a website, and almost within a few months, if you worked hard enough at it, you could probably start making some income. Maybe it's not enough. Maybe it's not a lot, but it's still something. I can tell you that when I made my first dollar in my business, I was like, I mean, I was like, holy shit, I could actually make some money from this. But you can't lose sight of that. You just got to go, and you got to do it. And when you're doing your own thing and you hit those problems, you can't dwell on the problems. You got to think of the solutions. Same with relationships. When relationships go up, and things go bad and people drift apart, people dwell on that. And it's like, you can't, because all it's going to do is freeze you up, right? You're just going to sit there, and you're going to sulk, and you're going to feel sorry for yourself, and you're going to think of all the things you've done and regret, and you're going to go through all the emotions, right? But you can't do that. Like, you got to get up, and you got to take steps forward, no matter how much it hurts or how heavy those feet feel. You got to do it. And you got to think of the goals and the things that you have to do, no matter what the situation is. What do I have to do? It's not, shouldn't be just a man thing. Like, a man's will do what he's got to do. No, it should be an everybody thing. You do what you got to do to get through your day. And sometimes the days suck, and sometimes things happen, and you can't control it. And sometimes things happen and you can't control it, but you just learn from it. And I don't know, this is kind of ranty, I feel like, but it's just, I'm tired. I'm tired of life. I'm tired of fucking asshole people out there. I'm tired of being a nice guy. I'm not being the nice guy no more. Fuck that shit. I'll be a good person. Like, I'll strive to do things to help others. I'll always be there to help others. But it's me 100%. Plain and simple. Because every time I've lost focus of me, I got fucking burned. And that cannot happen anymore. And that is a lesson I learned from all this, is I can't worry about other people's decisions or other people's actions or anything like that. I have to focus on myself. I have to focus on my goals. And unfortunately, right now, my goals is to get myself out of the situations that this break-in has caused. And then once I'm done with that, I got to get myself out of that situation. That it's a long thing, but then I'll still be in a bad situation. So then I still got to figure out how to get out of that. And then I can start focusing on the things I want to do in life again, and only thing I could do in the meantime is when I get, I'm heading to work right now, is I had 30 minutes to record this video. And then probably before I go to work tomorrow, I'm going to wake up extra early just so I can post it. And you guys know what's been going on in my world and why I've disappeared. Like, I have a whole new vision of life, and it's probably not the best vision to have, but it's the vision that gets me through the day. And when you go through these tough situations, I've been through it so many times, and to become the person that you are, for me, it was through nothing but pain. And now I'm going through that again. So I know that eventually, whether it's 2 months or 8 months, whatever it is, I'm going to come out a better, stronger person than I was going in. Because I will not let any of the situations that happened to me in the last 9 months ever defeat me. I will not do that. I will not sit there and pray to God and think, oh, Lord, save it. No, fuck that. God's going to sit this one out. I'll do it. God can sit up in the bleachers and fucking watch me kick ass, because that's ultimately what you're going to do. Is I'm going to come in this like a fucking freight train with no brakes. And I'm plowing through every obstacle that ever gets in my way. Fuck that. And I sit there and wait. And you shouldn't do that either. If you're going through hard times, don't sit there and fucking wait. Just go. Do your thing. Do your thing. If it's a person who broke your heart, the best way, or hurt you, or if it's a friend that hurt your feelings or fucked you over, the best way to do it is fucking succeed and show them that that shit did not affect you. That you're going to come out this even stronger and you're going to be a force to be reckoned with. Because now, all I've done the last 2 weeks is just sit there and work on taming my monster. Taming. Just, trying to control those emotions, trying all that hate and that anger for what happened. I mean, I was fucking went ballistic, but I thought this was a good opportunity. This is when they say like the train the monster thing, right? Like keep the monsters trained and then let them loose when they're ready. This is what this is allowing me to do. So I'm just sitting there and I'm just controlling and trying to deal with my situation. I'm training the monster because once this situation starts lightening up, I'm letting those monsters out. And this world better be ready for it because I'm hitting it hard. So I just wanted to give everybody an update as to why I've disappeared and what's been going on and how I'm dealing with probably the worst 9 months of my life. So maybe people will watch this and be like, yeah, it's probably not the best way to deal with that, but it's the way I know how to deal with it. And like I said, my whole life is a foundation of pain. So what's one more brick, right? Just stronger foundation. So I hope everybody has a great week. Hopefully I could do some more videos. I'm out.